My wife, Clara, and I had been married for 5 years. We were what you'd call high school sweethearts. Thought we had the perfect life, the kind you see in movies. But lately something felt off. She was distant, always on her phone, and her work trips became more and more frequent. I tried to talk to her, but she'd just brush it off, saying I was being paranoid and that work was just stressful. One night she told me she had another last-minute business trip to a conference a few hours away. She packed her bag, gave me a quick, almost cold kiss, and left. I tried to sleep, but my mind was racing. That nagging feeling in my gut just wouldn't go away. I remembered that we had our location shared on our phones, a feature we set up years ago for safety and never really thought about since. I figured she'd probably turned it off, but on a whim, I opened the app. To my surprise, her location was still active. My heart pounded in my chest as I looked at the screen. The little icon showing her location wasn't on the highway heading to the conference city. It was parked. Parked at a residential address only 20 minutes away from our house. I didn't recognize the address. My hands started to shake. I stared at the screen for what felt like an eternity, hoping it was a glitch, a mistake. But the icon just sat there, unmoving. I waited. An hour passed, then 2. The icon didn't move. All the excuses I was trying to make for her evaporated. There was no conference. There was no business trip. There was just a lie. I felt a cold wave wash over me. It was a mix of anger, betrayal, and a profound sadness that I can't even describe. The woman I had built my entire life with was lying to my face. I took a screenshot of her location, then I looked up the address online. It belonged to a man named Mark, a guy I vaguely remembered from her office. They'd always been a little too friendly for my liking, but she'd always assured me they were just work friends. Another lie. Everything started to click into place: the late nights, the secretive phone calls, the sudden distance. It wasn't stress from work, it was him. The next morning, she walked in, looking tired. She started telling me all about the conference, the speakers, the terrible hotel food. I just stood there, listening to every carefully constructed lie. When she finally finished, I didn't yell, I didn't scream. I just quietly slid my phone across the table, with the screenshot of her location from last night displayed on the screen. The color drained from her face. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. For the first time in months, she had nothing to say. The silence was deafening. In that moment, I knew our marriage was over. It's devastating to find out the person you love most has betrayed you, but sometimes the hardest truths are the ones that set you free. Finding that on the map was the end of my marriage, but it was also the beginning of me finding my way back to myself. Thanks for listening to my story.